Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
Alphonse D'Arco, they call him Lil Al. He became the acting boss of the family. We'll get to that. He was the first boss, acting or otherwise, of a New York crime family to become a government witness. So we'll get to that. Because, yeah, Amuso, we'll get to him, too. Because Casso, too, I believe.
Yeah.
They did some dirty shit.
Well, that's what happens.
Born in Brooklyn, New York, D'Arco grew up in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, near the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and attended a Catholic grammar school. He says his childhood was like being in the forest, and all the trees were the Dons and the organized crime guys.
Exactly.
You can't get away with it. He had an uncle that was in the mob, but his father was a businessman running a small basement dye shop for the garment industry. Well, what do you think what do you think his brother was doing?
Exactly.
Well, above the shop, however, a local hoodlum had a bookmaking operation, and the youngster was awestruck by the nattily dressed men who came and went. He's like, what are those? He's like the dude from Goodfellas.
Right. At the very young age of 15, he said, you know what? I ain't going to school no more. 1951. Okay, cool.
Dropped out of high school, man.
Dropped out of high school, age 15. 1951, during the Korean War, D'Arco served 2 years as volunteer in the United States Army. Fantastic. After an honorable discharge from the Army, D'Arco returned to Brooklyn, got married. He and his wife, 5 children.
Yeah.
One of his sons, Joseph, became a member of the Lucchese family.
He did.
Instantly, like as soon as he got born?
Well, yeah, well, probably. Like, you're the one.
Which one? How about him? During the 1950s, D'Arco became an associate in the Vario crew from Goodfellas, a Lucchese crew led by longtime capo Paul Vario.
Paulie from Goodfellas.
Right. And base in the Canarsie neighborhood, wherever that's at. Among those who tutored him was an old-school mobster named Vincenzo Altomari, they call him Jimmy Alto, who ran high-stakes crap games, and his headquarters was a cafe on Mott Street. He said, be low-key, don't stand out. Those were some of the lessons that Altomari taught D'Arco.
Well, apparently he took the lesson to heart, because unlike flashy mafia contemporaries such as Gotti, who sauntered through the Little Italy streets with an entourage, D'Arco lived modestly and conservatively. His residence was a government-subsidized apartment on Spring Street.
Fantastic.
There were no gumas or girlfriends on the side. Until his death, he remained loyal to his wife, Dolores, who had swept him off of his budding young gangster feet when they'd met in a Brooklyn nightclub on Flatbush Avenue in 1953.
Good for this guy.
His only indulgence was a little restaurant on Cleveland Place called La Donna Rosa.
Look at this guy. A little respect, huh? Nice. He likes his old lady. Billed as Ristorante Siciliana, it featured recipes that D'Arco, an amateur cook he was, had learned from his grandparents, such as ravioli stuffed with wild rabbit mousse and wild mushrooms. Patrons included Robert De Niro, who studied moves of the mobsters who dined there. JFK Jr. also ate there, but he sat alone, quietly enjoying his lunch when he was a district attorney at a nearby courthouse. Late mayor and gourmand Ed Koch was once turned away at the door by D'Arco. A roomful of gangsters were holding a confab there. I told him it was a private party. That's what he told the New York Post later in his life.
Yeah, you'd like to... well, you'll see. He's a talker. Let's put it that way.
Right.
In 1959, we'll go back a little bit. D'Arco, he met his future Lucchese boss, Victor Amuso. 1960s, D'Arco was convicted on drug-related charges and spent several years in prison. After he was released, he returned to the Lucchese family, which was then run by old Tony Ducks. Even allowing for the long-standing freeze on new members dating back to 1957, D'Arco had a long wait to become a made man.
Yeah.
He did finally receive his quote-unquote button August 23rd, 1982, just a month after his 50th birthday.
Fantastic.
In the 1980s, D'Arco opened an Italian restaurant, La Donna Rosa, that's what we just said. It would serve as a frequent Lucchese meeting place.
It had to be, right. Well, he then became involved in the bookmaking, loan sharking, occasional drug deals, and, of course, little petty criminal activities. During his criminal year, D'Arco would be involved in 10 moitas.
Oh.
His criminal record would include extortion, murder conspiracy, robbery, arson, tax evasion, counterfeiting, narcotics trafficking, burglary, hijacking, and, of course, there's that little assault there.
Sprinkle on some assault. Sprinkle some assault.
Sprinkle on a little assault. Well... Don't take him with the grain of assault. 1983, D'Arco was convicted of heroin trafficking.
Oh,
you idiot. Sentenced 4 years in prison. Paroled 1986.
All right, well.
Good time then, huh?
That same year, Victor Amuso, he took control of the Lucchese family. 2 years later, Anthony Casso, he became underboss.
Right.
They called him the gas pipe.
Yes.
Well, that's not a good name. 1988, Vario, he died in prison while serving a life sentence for the infamous Lufthansa heist.
Yeah.
As a result, Amuso promoted D'Arco to capo of the old Vario crew.
We didn't do that, did we?
Not yet, considering we're still on that family.
Right.
1990, Amuso selected D'Arco to organize a Lucchese construction panel. A committee of Lucchese family members. The panel would oversee the Lucchese-controlled unions and construction companies and coordinate joint business ventures with other 5 families of the Cosa Nostra.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, he seems smart now.
Right. Mid-'80s. D'Arco was becoming a very, very rich and powerful man due to the earnings from his crew and from his loan sharking portfolio. Soon he would collect tribute from the Lucchese crews for Amuso and Casso. Oh, wow. On one Christmas day, D'Arco, he put together a $100,000 holiday gift for the 2 leaders from all the capos.
Good for him.
August 1990, D'Arco facilitated the murder of Lucchese mobster Bruno.
It would be Faciola, it'd be Faciola.
Faciola, yeah. D'Arco facilitated the murder of Lucchese mobster Bruno Faciola. Amuso suspected Faciola of being an informant, and he said, "Gotta go."
Well, Faciola, he tried to run away when he found out he was about to be set up, but he was tackled and dragged back into the garage where he was stabbed and shot.
Oh, man.
On Amuso's instructions, the hitman placed a dead canary, the sign of an informant, on Faciola's mouth after they killed him.
Wow.
In his mouth.
Right.
January 91, Amuso and Casso, they received an early warning about an upcoming federal indictment and went into hiding, leaving D'Arco as the acting boss.
Wow.
Uh-oh. This is where it gets dicey.
D'Arco, he would meet with them twice in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and several times at safe houses in Brooklyn. Summer of 1991, D'Arco met with warring factions in the Colombo crime family to mediate a peace agreement. He's like, "Hey, man, we're a little disheveled right now."
You just know, 3 years ago, the damn mafia commission trial took out everybody. What are you guys doing?
Right. However, Casso sent him on this mission in hopes that Lucchese could grab Colombo rackets. Through their ruthlessness and brutality, Amuso and Casso generated many internal conflicts in the Lucchese family, broke down the unity and loyalty of its members. Damn. The family, they felt the 2 bosses were greedy and paranoid, ordering too many murders to make themselves feel secure. Yeah, they're just
paranoid, dude.
They just gotta go.
Early 1991, Amuso became falsely convinced that Lucchese capo Peter Chiodo had become a government witness and ordered D'Arco to kill him. May of 91, Chiodo was shot 12 times but survived the attack.
He did.
Because he was so fat, his girth kept any bullets from severing critical arteries.
Very true.
Chiodo then became a government witness, testified in June 1991 at a Lucchese trial. Amuso and Casso, they sent more hit orders to D'Arco. Amuso, he ordered the family's entire New Jersey faction, the Jersey crew, killed, which was the Whack Jersey order, when they refused to increase the family's share of their profits.
Oh, wow.
They said, fuck this guy.
Casso gave D'Arco a list of 49 people he wanted dead, half of whom Lucchese wise guys. Oh, my. Amuso then ordered D'Arco to bring in a bomb expert from Philadelphia in order to blow up Gambino boss John Gotti. And these guys are fighting in by themselves, between themselves, and still trying to take out other. Wow. Not very smart here.
Clearly.
Holy shit. All these actions convinced D'Arco and other Lucchese wise guys that Amuso and Casso, they're no longer acting rational. Like, these guys are not with it. What's going on? Later, D'Arco explained his role in the family. When a job needed to be done, whenever they needed to do something unpleasant to someone, I was the prick chosen.
All right. Nice. Whatever that accent was. But in a 3-year span of violence between 88 and 91, Lucchese gunmen killed a total of 17 men. Their bodies left sprawling in underground garages, dumped into landfills, jammed into car trunks, or secretly cremated.
Yeah.
At the boss's direction, a dead canary was stuffed in the mouth, like we said.
Right.
Obviously, that was supposed to be a sign of being an informant, but like we know, that was untrue.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the death sentences ordered by Amuso and Casso D'Arco came to realize had little to do with the mafia disloyalty.
These guys are just, like I said before, paranoid and freaking greedy.
Yeah, most of the murders were an effort to eliminate potential rivals and seize their often lucrative crime operations. They just wanted to get rich, and they're behind the scenes not doing anything.
I don't even know if the street gangs were this bad. I know they're bad, but man.
Well, so far, this Amuso and Caso guys are
kind of like the street gangs now. D'Arco, he knew that Amuso and Caso blamed him for the failed attack on Chiodo, and he believed that they were waiting to kill him. July 1991, Staten Island meeting. Amuso, Caso replaced D'Arco as acting boss with a four-man panel of capos. D'Arco was named to this panel, but it was obvious that Amuso and Caso no longer trusted him. Lucky you're still alive. 18th September 1991, he attended a meeting of Lucchese leaders in Manhattan's Kimberly Hotel. In the middle of the meeting, Mike DeSantis, soldier and the crew panel member Frank Lastrino, he showed up even though he wasn't a member of the panel himself. That's not good.
Uh-oh. Well, D'Arco noticed DeSantis had a gun hidden under his shirt in the small of his back. DeSantis, also wearing a bulletproof vest.
Oh, shit.
Later, DeSantis went to the bathroom, and when he came back, the gun was gone. D'Arco, he knew this was a classic setup for a hit. The next person to go in the bathroom was likely to come out shooting.
You ain't kidding.
Convinced his life was threatened, D'Arco rushed out of the hotel. His driver, nowhere to be found, which was another indication to D'Arco that he had been marked for death.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he was gone, dude.
Wow. Look at that guy. Very next day, FBI agents warned D'Arco that he was indeed in danger. D'Arco decided to desert the mafia. However, knowing that Caso frequently boasted that he had at least one FBI agent on his payroll, he was too fearful to go to the FBI in Manhattan. Right. He fled the city along with his wife, his son, and several other close relatives. On a Saturday night, D'Arco traveled to FBI office in New Rochelle in New York and offered to become a government witness. Like, I want those fuckers dead. I would have went a little further.
Right. Like, go to Missouri or something.
Vermont.
Right. Well, despite being under FBI protection, D'Arco still feared that a corrupt FBI agent had betrayed him to Caso. When federal prosecutors finally met with D'Arco, they found him hiding in the bathroom of his hotel room.
Oh.
At the time, he was the highest-ranking member of a New York mafia crime family to break his blood oath and testify against the mob.
Well, he kind of had to.
Which, like we said, would stand up until Bonanno boss Joseph Massino turned informer in 2004.
Actually, I don't think he would have had to actually go to the FBI. If he would have just left, they probably would have just left him alone.
Doubtful.
Yeah, there's no reason to kill him.
Of course it was.
Outpoured a vast stream of mob knowledge. D'Arco laid it all out. He detailed loan shark arrangements. He detailed the union locos. He even said the mobsters who controlled them, the monthly payoffs from the construction companies. He even gave them the hierarchies of each crime family. Even a list of more than 24 factions in the Sicilian mafia. Oh, shit. Well, you got to bring the Sicilians along with this.
Well, he also told how the mob had divided the proceeds from the scrap iron generated by the demolition of the old elevated West Side Highway.
Man. Holy shit.
The mob had also profited from the construction of a huge nuclear power plant. Mob penetration of the construction industry remained so deep, he told them, that even a concrete contractor then working on federal projects and who had allegedly been vetted for mob ties was paying $20,000 a month to his crime family.
Oh, my gosh.
He was the best. Michael Campy was a former FBI supervisor who spent 20 years chasing wise guys in New York. And he was on one of those debriefing missions. That's what he told the New York Post, said he was the best. This was for a book called Mob Boss, which is a biography of D'Arco. Al D'Arco was the most significant made member to cooperate. He really built that bridge for others to cross.
Dude,
and he really did.
He did. Son of a bitch. Wow. Over the next 10 years, D'Arco testified in dozens of trials, along with many grand jury hearings and other legal proceedings. His testimony helped convict Amuso, acting Colombo crime family boss Victor Little Vic Oriana, Bonanno family concierge Anthony Spiro, Genovese crime family concierge James Ida, and Genovese boss Vincent the Chin Gigante. D'Arco also testified at the trial of Louis Eppolito and Stephen Caracappa. Yeah, the two corrupt NYPD detectives who provided Caso with info. His testimony, along with many other Lucchese defectors, nearly destroyed the Lucchese family. Ooh.
Altogether, prosecutors credited him with helping to convict more than 50 mobsters.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the toughest, most difficult witnesses I ever faced, said Gerald Shargle, who was the veteran defense attorney who represented Amuso and others.
You know he couldn't do anything.
Right. Like, no matter what I'm doing, I can't break him. Well, aside from recalling meetings and murders, his testimony from the stand also sometimes lapsed into a kind of mob poetry. Asked how he became involved in the mafia in one trial, he explained that, like we said, it was always around my neighborhood. It's like you're in the forest.
Right.
The neighborhood is the forest, and all the trees in it, well, a lot of the trees were organized crime men.
Exactly.
It was a way of life. His shift from gangster to witness was just another phase in that life, he said.
Yep. So I'm still a mobster, he said, but I'm an outlaw. What?
Outlaw's got to be alone.
Right. Yeah, he goes, I'm still a mobster, but I'm an outlaw. That's all. It's not like they throw you out of the mob when you flip. You're just considered an outlaw. That's what I am. Still sitting in a chain motel in middle America, far from Little Italy streets, for a series of interviews for the book. Little Al D'Arco often talked nostalgic about the world he left behind. I could be back to crime now if I wanted it. Crime is crime. You don't forget how to make a living. But he had given his final word to the feds. He said, if I am starving, I won't go back to it. I gave my word. But as far as living day to day, I take that life any fucking day of the week.
Yes, sir. And he would. He indeed joined the witness protection program. According to government sources, D'Arco was an excellent witness and did not commit any further criminal acts.
Sure.
While still in witness protection, Little Al died March 28, 2019 at the age of 86.
I guarantee you he ran a little operation that they didn't care about.
Doubt it.
No, you know it.
Doubt it. He was a fucking ex-mob boss that put away everybody. You think they weren't setting him up with $100,000 a year at least?
He probably still ran some.
Doubt it.
Like a pot shop or something.
Doubt it. Especially not if he was content on living in some little rinky-dink shack when he was a boss.
Yeah, this dude he said, you know what? These sons of bitches are trying to kill me for no fucking reason.
Fuck them. They're getting a little out of hand. I'll go take $100,000 a year. Like, guarantee they paid him at least $100,000 a year in the witness protection.
Probably.
Guaranteed. So, yeah.